Kristin Kamado here. Today I'm going to be working on my Craft Roulette card. I have all the bits kind of cut out. Now I just got to assemble. So I thought I would share with you what I am doing. It is for Craft Roulette episode 295. Whoop, whoop. Okay, we had map fold. Oh, we'll talk about that. Planter colors. Okay, I think you can kind of see where I'm headed here. From the sky and 3 in a row. Well, last week I cased one of my fellow Craft Rouletters cards for my entry. I decided to see if I could do it again, and by golly, I think I'm going to get there. This week, because map fold was on a previous episode 150, in case anybody wants to go back and watch that, map fold made that appearance there. So I'm looking through the gallery, and whose card should but appear, besides our lovely intrepid host, Mary, of course, my Colorado craft friend, Lisa. Her card was there. It was her 75th, so she was a major milestone for that particular episode back in the day. Which is funny because it was 2 episodes before my first Craft Roulette, which was episode 152. 52? If you know, you know. But I was like, ooh, so I am casing Lisa's card. Here's a picture of what she did for hers. Look at those cute little robots. But I really like that embossed background with the coloring. I haven't done that technique yet, which I think she did by inking up the folder first and then running it through. So I gave it a whirl. And a map fold. I liked how hers was kind of small. Now, she did like a Brad. Team Brad. But I went with a little ribbon. And I haven't glued the ribbon on yet, but I will go ahead and take that apart once I glue it on so you can kind of see what that's about. But I was like, well, if I'm going to do kind of a map, I should have some map-looking paper. So I did. I got a digital from my Porch Prints. I'll link them below. Their shop is on Etsy, but they do have a YouTube channel because you're probably going to be curious about this scripty one that they have. It was a freebie one that they offered previously. I will link that YouTube video so you could take a look-see and see what that's about. But I liked how it was kind of the scripty on one side, mappy on the other. If you were folding it up, it might look that way. Maybe depending on the map, you just had to use whatever paper you could find. So going with that. So it's just copy paper. So it's real super thin, but I have some glue that will work with that. Map fold. Okay. I didn't know how to do it, so I found a video on YouTube. I will link you below for that, because the video is older, but it made it real easy. Now, I think she was doing more of a rectangle shape to start with. I started with the square, so I made a prototype out of copy paper. This was a 6-inch square, I think, to start with. Yep, 6 inches, and it folded down to a 3x3 type size. So I was like, well, that's a little too big for my card, but basically you make it like a little house shape, and it kind of opens up. Well, that's what I did. But for my card, I started with a 4x4 size piece of paper, folded that down to get a similar look. So now this finished size is 2x2. Now the outside of it, I kind of made like a little cover, and I think it's like 2 1/8 for the front cover and the back cover. So it's a little bit stronger. Just some spare scrap cardstock, and I put some leftover paper on there. Put a little hinge in there just in case. To be fancy. Really, I don't think it needed it, but, fancy punces for my stretchy pants. They're fancy stretchy pants. So here's my little map. Woo! And I know it doesn't open quite all the way, probably because of my hinge. Might have messed that up, but if you look, it's a map of the U.S. And what should be in the middle? X marks the spot for Colorado Springs. That's where I'm at. So, in case anybody was curious, right? Ha ha! So, I thought that was kind of fun. So, I'll have to tie that with the ribbon here. Clear skies. Okay. From the sky perimeter, I mean, are those some fancy stretchy pants? If I say, hey, my ink color, probably not. But planter colors, well, not only is the plant in the planter, is your planter outside? Skies. Maybe the color of your planter is a blue. Could very well happen. Planters come in about any sort of color or pattern. That's what I'm going with. So, sky. Well, from the sky. Clouds are from the sky. They're right up there. So, I used that. I did do the inking and came out with a pretty cool background. First time trying it. Won't be the last. And I needed a mountain. A lovely little mountain range. Well, I had bought this set back in the day. It's still available on Gina K Designs, Master Layout 6. This was a great one. Normally, they're like card layout type ones. This one was a nice one because it's scene building. You get the trees and a sun and some clouds. Some people are even using some of these clouds for tree shapes, especially if you wanted, like, you know, your tall tree with the big fluffy leaves at the top or something. Plus you get a nice grass die, a mountain die, and then you could use this as hills. She's had videos in the past. She talks a lot about it, makes a lot of examples, so you can really get creative with this. But I liked the mountain. I think I've also used it, die cutting it and then shifting it on top just a bit and making almost like a small heartbeat line. So, hey, that's an option too. So use that to cut out a few of my brown papers. I used a brown, and then this speckly one, I did not speckle it. It came this way. Again, this is almost like copy paper weight. It has been in my stash for some time, and I got to use some of it today. So super excited about that. So we'll have to get some gluing done, but here is what I have created. Here is that background. I did do the full panel because I thought it'd be easier to put the mountains on it. I tried to kind of clear out some of the clouds, but they got a little bluey in there. It's okay. We're going with abstract, right? Fancy clouds. So this panel was cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to mount that with just that little bit of edge because I really like that look. Now we got some mountain ranges here because Pikes Peak is very well, close enough that you can get some great pictures just around town of the mountains. So I'm going to say, like, this is Pikes Peak, and this might be some of the other mountainy type hills around the area. Maybe you have a better word for that. I don't know. But when I cut this piece off, I was like, well, I could save that. That might look cute. Maybe some mountain hills down there. Look, 3 in a row. I won't quite stretch that parameter quite that way. Oh, I'll do something else a little different for that. So thought I'd kind of bring that down, cut another piece. Again, hey, jump. Took that and was like, well, you know, I'm going to be putting my little map on. So why not kind of layer some of these, even if there is a gap right there, my little mappy. Oh, well, I've got to make sure the words are somewhat the right way, right? Okay, map opening the right way. It's going to cover that space. So I figure we're all good. Now for the sentiment, these are some sentiments strips, also by Gina K. 2 separate sets. I will make sure to provide a link below. I don't think they were originally intended to layer, but these 2 particular sizes got pretty dang close to a layering size. So I'm going to go with that. And I couldn't help but think some of the mountains, and there are lots of travelers in the area. I got that phrase stuck in my head of something about wandering and lost, so I had to Google it, of course. Look it up on the internets. And the phrase was actually, "Not all those who wander are lost." Apparently, I've been told, it is a profound quote from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. I'm sure many of you are probably familiar with that one. So, I'm going to see if I can write even small print, maybe a little cursive, maybe a little combo of both. Not all those who wander are lost, right in there. And then, of course, I'll have the ribbon closure. So then I will get a glue in. And I thought, I haven't done this in a while, I haven't put any music overlay. So I think while I'll be a gluing, oh, by the way, the embossing folder was a Park Lane one from, ages ago. So, of course, no longer available. It's just a 2D one, so the clouds aren't super deep in there, which I think is okay. You still get the visual, and you still understand that they're clouds. Okay, works for me. And 3 in a row. I think I'm just going to put some Gemmy Gems in there. I'm feeling some square ones that I have in my stash, so I'll make sure to include those in there, maybe around the bottom. I thought about doing them up and down, but is that in a row or is that a column? Yeesh, technicalities. So I will figure out how to include those in there, so one, I can get the parameter and get the parameter correct, because I don't want to reinvent the words. But it's okay to be a little stretchy about your words. That is okay, and I think Mr. Wheel highly encourages using the stretchy pens, because I think he enjoys it when we kiss our brains. So I'll meet up with you here in just a little bit after I am done gluing. Everyone, I got it all glued. Hope you enjoyed the tunes. So, recap. Map fold. Well, you saw how that was folded in there. Let's just take another look. See, hopefully the glue's had time to set up. So you untie the ribbon and you have a wonderful little map of the area. I'll retie that here in a moment. Planter colors. I think definitely we have the shades of dirt that are in there, plus the little bit of shiny. I mean, white, blue. You would definitely see those in a planter, I think. Probably seen one at the local Home Depot here fairly recently. And from the sky. Clouds are from the sky. So I'm going with that. And 3 in a row. I did it twice because it was so nice. That is my card for episode 295 of Craft Roulette. That's right, Craft Roulette. I'll make sure to link all the info for you below. I even have a link for you in case you're curious. If you haven't heard of Craft Roulette and are wondering what is it, I got a little message for you. So go ahead and click that link. It'll be down in the description box. It's a little message from me just to say hi and welcome to the show. So, map fold check, planter colors check, from the sky check, and 3 in a row, a check check. That's right, checky check. All right, we got them all done. I thank you for coming by my channel today and watching how this all kind of came together, how I cased my friend Lisa's card that she made using a map fold, and I integrated it to current parameters. If you have any questions about the products that I used, or about the parameters, about Craft Roulette, or just would like to say hi, do let me know in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. And until the next one, bye!